watch Elden Ring accused of bigotry by Clueless Report. Dude, I love these subjects so much. Who gives a fuck about LGBT plus representation in a fucking monster game? Do you really want to be represented by fucking monsters? Oh my god,
Elden
bro.
Ring
Let's go.
Mog may
Let's
be
go.
the Souls series' worst LGBT plus representation. Elden Ring's Mog.
Was there any LGBT plus representation in any of the Soul games? If there was, I wasn't aware, because who gives a fuck? Make a good game, and it is.
Lord of Blood has fascinating and tragic lore, but the implications of his relationship with Miquella can be harmful.
Oh my
The
god,
lore and narrative
bro.
in Elden Ring builds one of From Software's best worlds, with dozens of characters all acting and conflicting with each other to bring the lands between to life. Some of these characters that have impressive impact on the world are even hidden away as secret bosses in order to uncover the truth of characters like Ranni the Witch or Mog, Lord of Blood. However, in what may have simply been an effort to make for compelling and complex villains, Mog in particular stands out as an unfortunate piece of representation when examining his relationship with one of his siblings.
Oh god.
While this may not have been the intended read when Mog and Miquella's complicated relationship was being crafted for Elden Ring, the result has one of the worst implications for LGBT plus representation in a From Software title. I think I already think where the fuck we're going, but let's see.
So if I remember correctly, there was is it Mikkel? No, the last boss before before the Elden Beast, like the phase 1. The guy you're fighting is also a female, I believe, right? So when you approach, it's a female. When he starts fighting, it's a guy. So it's like technically a trans, right? But it's like it's a fucking godly being. It's not like it doesn't work with human standards. It's like it's a magical fucking thing.
For those who haven't dived quite so far into the Elden Ring lore, Mog and Miquella are demigods. This means that both of these characters are the children of the goddess queen Marika, and therefore possess considerably more power than the average fighter wandering around.
Yeah, Marika. Marika was the thing, right? Was the Marika and Mikola were one and the same or some shit like that. I don't remember.
Around the lands between. Mog was born an omen, one of the cursed children born with horns but protruding from their bodies, who are either killed or disfigured in infancy, or locked away deep underneath Lindell.
Lindell, yeah.
Lindell? On the other hand, Miquella is a beloved prodigy who was born cursed with eternal childhood and was made an Empyrean, possibly destined to take on the role of God from his mother. Before the events of the game, Miquella had locked himself away in a cocoon that allowed himself to feed his blood to a new great tree, known as the Halig tree.
Before the events of the game, Mikola had locked himself away in a cocoon that allowed him to feed his blood to a new great tree known as the Halig tree. Yes, that's the cocoon where you fight you find Mog, right?
There, he hoped to cure himself of his agelessness, as well as relieving Elden Ring's toughest boss, Malenia, of her scarlet rot. However, sometime after the Shattering, Mog stole Miquella and the Halig tree, hoping to raise the Empyrean to godhood and become his consort. Terrorization of Mog's dynasty. Everything about the characters is intriguing and compelling, with Mog being the cursed son of a goddess who devotes himself to an outer god in order to find freedom from being imprisoned under the capital and make a claim for lordhood.
Was that his thing, though? Is that really what he wanted?
It's when looking at how Mog tries to go about trying to become a blood-obsessed Elden Lord that several negative implications start to crop up. In short, Mog becomes obsessed with and kidnaps a child in order to become his consort.
He isn't really a child. He just doesn't age. This is events before. So this child is like thousands of years old. The fuck.
Dude, you realize that what you're fucking talking about here is gods? That's nuts and supposed to be fucking off the rails, right? It may actually be.
There we go.
Elden Ring didn't even think about representing straight or gay people.
Yeah, it's fucking gods and magical creatures, man. Who gives a fuck of their sex? You're not there to see them bang. You're there to kill them. Who cares?
In their game. And instead just wrote whatever the fuck sounded cooler and crueler. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be fucking wrong. It used to be not so long ago. Let's say a decade ago. The people wrote stories just to write good stories. It's
Imagine
only
that.
recently that you fucks over in the gaming media started making everything about some kind of real life fucking issue. Like, everyone
Man,
has to be represented,
big,
and if that means
big true. Big true. Oh my god. There hasn't been a bigger a bigger and truer true than this true. Oh my fucking god. That is exactly the problem. These gaming media outlets who are probably don't even play games, probably couldn't even kill the fucking first boss, who isn't even a boss, just like an elite mob, the Halibard dude. Can't even get past him. Write these fucking things because they saw a lore video about the fucking guy, and they're like, yo, this is not representing LGBTQ. Bro, gods don't give a shit about LGBTQ, okay? Or maybe they do. Who gives a shit? Maybe there are gods, maybe there isn't. These gods clearly are from a fantasy world where sex is not even like something that comes to mind.
making 400 fucking characters in your game, you'll fucking do it so that you can hit all of the pronouns and shit in video games. Dude, no one gives a fuck about this shit, Game Ran. No one cares. Not a single fucking person gives a shit other than you. You fucking morons. These are gods. That's fucking nuts.
See, the biggest problem is game devs listen to these fucking degenerates. They listen to them and then they try to appeal to these idiots. Who gives a shit? Make a good game. Make a good story. With LGBT, without, who cares? Stop with this fucking bullshit of being relatable to characters. It's a fucking game. Or like representation. What's the representation of trends in society? Was in the US like 0.1% or some shit? Who cares? Yeah, cool, you exist. Great. Maybe 0.1% of games should represent you. Stop asking for so fucking much.
Have you seen Warhammer's universe where gods literally rape other gods and then force them to have children that populate worlds? It's what gods normally in video games do. They're
Mog was a good guy, yeah.
rank. It's just what happens. This is absolutely ridiculous. Becoming Kelly's consort would require the two to be married after he has risen to godhood. This would be fine and actually one of the few times in From Software titles that highlights an LGBT plus marriage between men. However,
is it though? Is it the first time? I feel like it isn't. I feel like there was something in Dark Souls that had something with two gay men or gay women being married or some shit like that. Or like having an affair. I'm not sure. But who cares? Why does it matter? Oh my god, man. Actually, one of few times. Okay, so a few times. Okay, so it's not the only time. That highlights. First of all, it doesn't fucking highlight it. You have to really look hard to understand the story to begin with.
Michaela's specific condition and familiar relationship with Mog makes for a set of appalling implications. Dude, has it ever occurred to you that maybe From Software has no LGBT plus sort of relationships in their video games because they just don't cater to that bullshit? Whether you're gay or straight, you play the game, you pretend whatever the fuck you want to happen happens, and that's it. They don't really dive into the whole woke obsessed crap. They don't care. If you want your character to be gay in the game, your character is gay in the game. Congratulations. You can look fabulous and fucking defeat as many enemies as you want. If you want to be butch and fucking masculine, you can be that too and go defeat as many enemies as you want. Perhaps that is why they don't actually do the whole representation bullshit, because they know that nothing will ever actually please you. Because here's the funny thing. If they
Here's the fun thing. Nothing will ever please you.
manage to put a trans boss into the fucking game, you would complain that there's not also a gay and a lesbian boss. If they manage to hit all of that, you would complain because they don't have the exact right pronouns. Look.
Bro, so true. Wait for that though. How come? Okay, so you have two women who are gay in the game. How come they're both white? How come they're both Asian? How come they're not black and white? How come there's only one? How come there's, you know, like how come they're only lesbians? Where are the gays? Where are the trans? Where are the anything in that fucking spectrum? Imagine a rainbow spectrum of your whatever you're imagining is true to be there. Like oh my god, who can't, bro? It's so dumb, man. Just like, who cares? It's a fucking game in the fantasy world.
Look, Game Rant.
I am not, like, when I go there, I'm not looking for somebody with, like, luscious long hair. A nice little cut on the sides. Built like a fucking tank. A bit overweight right now, but let's not pay that any mind. Okay, with a nice little beard that I need to trim, and like blue eyes. Okay, and like I'm Eastern European, but I'm also Jewish. I don't care about that. I just want a character that looks kind of decent, and then don't even look at to go and kill shit. Who gives a fuck, man? Like, oh my god, why are you playing Elden Ring if you just want to play fucking dress up? Yo, fuck off, go to Barbie dollhouse or some shit, man.
No one actually gives a fuck. That includes most trans people. Most people just want to live their lives and be left the fuck alone. I have many trans people in my community, and all of them think this is bullshit. None of them give a fuck.
I give a shit. It's nice to see myself represented in a video game when I am so frequently erased or ostracized and bullied in real life for things I didn't choose about myself. So instead, you want to be represented in a game where you are also erased, like die a lot, bullied by a lot of mobs, because the game chooses where the bosses are located.
I don't know of
Like,
a
what?
single trans person in my community that has played Elden Ring and actually jumped over the fucking wall because oh my god. In fact, I would say that the thing you're suggesting here is actually the bigoted fucking attitude. Because you're effectively saying that they're saying that all gay people are somehow child molesters, which isn't true. FYI. Like, not even close, but somehow that's what you're reading, rather than just, oh, this is a fucked up god that wants to force someone. Like, isn't the more important bit here that the god wants to kidnap someone and force them to become a consort? I feel like that is the thing that's far more fucking important here. I don't think this matters to anyone. Like, most people just want to play video games. Shut the fuck up. Oh my god.
They will always complain no matter what you do. You have to include LGBT and skin colors in every single thing to avoid these stupid people. And you still don't avoid them. Let's be real.
I give a shit. It's nice to see myself represented in a video game when I'm so frequently erased, ostracized, and bullied in real life for things I didn't choose about myself. But yes, forcing it feels awkward. Argarian, we're not talking about representation here. Not at all. In games like Elden Ring, you are represented purely by the fact that your character has no direct alignment. Your character is neither gay nor straight, so you can do pretty much whatever you want with your imagination. In games like Mass Effect and Witcher 3, well, not Witcher 3, but in games like Mass Effect, you have the ability to be gay, right?
Okay, I was about to say, like, what is this about saying about Witcher 3? Witcher 3, you're straight. Like, it is what it is.
Or the ability to be...
But, like, it's not, like, it's a role-playing, you're playing as Geralt, so it's like, it's written for you, and that's fine. Like, Geralt shouldn't be able to choose what he is like, it's clear that he's straight. That's how this character is written.
Be straight. In games like Cyberpunk, you even have the ability to be trans, if that is what you wish to be, right? So you have the ability to represent yourself in games where it makes sense, and I would be 100% on board with that. My brother is gay. We've had this conversation years ago, where it makes sense. It's nice to see yourself represented in something. But in this case, right, this is just a fucked up god that is doing fucked up things, right? It doesn't actually affect anyone. I don't think there's a single gay person that is looking at Mog and going, wait a
Yeah.
second, am I a pedophile? Because Elden Ring seems to think I'm a pedophile. Like, I don't think there's anyone that's thinking this way. Like, for most people, this
Clearly, the one who wrote this is thinking this way.
is just a fucked up god doing fucked up things because that's what gods in Elden Ring do. Is there any
Yeah.
good gods in Elden Ring at all?
Malenia.
Because most, by the way, most sort of, or Kieran, I'm not actually disagreeing with you, just FYI. So
Actually, yeah. Rauban, or Rakan, whatever. Rakan is actually a good guy, and Malenia actually is actually a good guy.
I can't really be right in this instance because I'm not disagreeing with you.
Like, she's not evil.
I actually believe that yes,
as I know.
representation where it makes sense,
The
absolutely.
turtle.
The thing that triggers me when it comes to representation is when they take
Turtle's not a
characters
god.
that have historically been straight or whatever, and then sort of make them something else. It's sort of like, wait, so you didn't even think that gay people deserve their own character? That's cool. You just thought you'd copy paste a character for them? Like, seriously. You could have taken the extra 10 minutes and create a cool character, right? That actually is gay or whatever, and make that something cool. Depends on your perspective of good. So I will say, in terms of most video games, or in terms of most video games that's inspired by sort of the Lovecraftian universe. Now, this can be as far as games that
I don't know if it's Shades of Grey. There is no objective good side. That's true. There are objectively bad sides too. But I mean, there is a lot of Shades of Grey, sure, with some stuff, but like a lot of it is like bad.
that could directly borrow from the Lovecraft universe. As Rurikon told me, I think Bloodborne is a game that heavily borrows from the Lovecraft universe. But if you look at almost every single Dark Souls game, it has a lot of Lovecraftian elements in the game. So it's got a lot of that macabre sort of.
Radahn is good. He got fucked over by Malenia, which is why he's bad. He's not bad still. Rakan was Radahn. Radahn was never bad. Even when you fight him, it's called a festival. The reason it's a festival is because Radahn deserves the fucking respect to die in combat. That's why you're fighting Radahn, right? You're giving him his due respect by beating him in Mortal Kombat, which is the way he wants to die. Radahn has always been good. Malenia, I don't like. As far as I know, Malenia is not bad. I can't say that she's necessarily good, but it's like whatever. You got fucked over, which is why he's bad. He's not. Miquella is good because he wanted to heal all of the ailments of the lands between. Yes. A good example, Ben was written to be gay from day one, but was revealed until the world was more okay with it. Honestly, at this point, I can't believe it, but also I can say that it's not true. If the original author came out after 2015 and stated that, it's very hard to believe him. That's pretty much why.
Sort of feel to what the games are.
And besides, let's say he was written to be gay from day one. Did anything aside from his outfit, really, like his early outfit, did anything other than that? I mean, but all of the superheroes wore their underwear on their pants, whatever, on their suits. But like, was anything? First of all, did you even care if he was straight or gay? To be honest, like with Batman, that didn't matter. It was all about like stopping law-breaking citizens or some shit.
Even here, Mog worships outer gods, right? Which is an established thing within the Lovecraft universe. If you go look at the Lovecraft universe and the gods, the outer gods and things that exist there, they're all pretty fucked up, right? They're not good people. These are not role models that you wish to aspire to. Batman was written to be gay from day one, but wasn't revealed until the world was more okay with it. Is Batman gay? Isn't Batman and Batwoman sort of, they have quote-unquote relationship sort of thing?
And Wonder Woman?
A common point. How much suffering is the characters in? Is married to Catwoman. You mean Kevin Conroy, he's voice actor. Definitely, that's what I meant. Shoehorning us in for a quota feels bad. Make an interesting character outside of stereotypes. I absolutely agree with you.
Yep.
I like absolutely agree with you, Arcarian. It because I can imagine for myself, right? I can imagine where I am in as a straight guy. If you took a gay character and just made them straight because you need at least one straight character in the series or movie, that would piss me off, right? Because I'd be like, wait, if you didn't think that a straight guy actually works
Oh
here
my god.
enough to actually create a straight character, then I don't care about being in this fucking like I don't need to be represented in this movie. Just make the fucking movie, and if it's a good movie, I'll go watch it. I don't give a shit,
Basically.
right?
Yeah.
That's
all it
the only version
is.
of Batman I remember. I
Oh,
will
there's no
say,
one.
so for example, what's that series? There's a series where it's a woman and a gay guy that plays in the series. Oh my god, it's like Stacy and something, or it's like an old series. They tried to do a comeback at some point. Will and Grace, that's the one. It just
Oh,
made sense, right? That character being gay just made fucking sense. No one would
Stacy.
want that character to be straight in any way, shape, or form because the character being gay just makes sense. I hate when people try to hit some quota bullshit because no one actually cares about it except for the people that
Write
pretend
this.
to. Because I can promise
Except for people who write stuff like
you
this.
right now, Game Rant, they're just pretending to give a fuck. This is for clicks. That's it. And I don't mind it
Yeah.
because this provides me with clicks over on YouTube. So thank you,
100%,
Game
yeah.
Rant. I appreciate free fucking content.
Yeah.
But it is bullshit. Tizan Michaela is a child, regardless of how long he has existed as a child. His description in game is that he is forever cursed with childhood. On top,
Yeah, he's forever cursed childhood. Doesn't mean he doesn't age, like, overall. Just like, it's like legal lolly as a man, as a dude.
of that, Mark stole Michaela away while he was asleep in order to raise him in his image and then marry him. The entire situation,
Yeah. Yes, he groomed him. Yes. Great.
whether intended or not, is that a man who wants to force a young boy into marrying him. It's true that the player fights Mark as a villain, so giving him negative qualities is fine from a strictly
Oh my
narrative
god.
perspective. However, these exact qualities are the negative and categorically untrue stereotypes that dude, if we're gonna start basing shit on stereotypes, we can write no stories. We can write no
easily,
stories.
man.
So listen here. Who the fuck is this guy that wrote this bullshit article? I don't want to keep reading it because he's just mouthing the fuck off. Jared, stop making things up to be outraged.
Jared Carvalho is a writer and avid lover of gaming, TV, and movies. When not hammering at his keyboard, you can often find Jared in the movie theater or attached to his DualShock 4. He devours all types of medication, I guess. What's up, dude? Love the stream. Thanks, Diddles. Oh my god, bro. It's
Just
so
fucking
dumb,
stop. The
man.
stereotypes that you're actually referring to is held by a vast minority of fucking
It's so
people.
dumb. D-Rising, you should have played yesterday and you would know. What happened? Some idiot wrote an article about Elden Ring where some god abducted another god who is forever like stuck in childhood phase, and he want to marry him or something, and that portrays gay people as groomers and child molesters. Yeah, and someone actually wrote an article about that. What the fuck is wrong with people, bro? Meanwhile, if you actually play the game, you would never even understand this. Yeah, I'm sure it's interesting for you. It is so fucked up, man. People actually like that. This is actually an article. I love it. It's so dumb. Yeah, this type of shit I watch sometimes. It's like, why? I don't know. But I find it kind of funny. What's up with you? How was Walmart? These people love it. Yeah, these people. let's categorize them. Expensive? Yeah, I bet.
The vast majority of us, be it conservative or liberal, do not think that gay people and trans people are fucking molesters and pedophiles. We just don't. So the stereotype that you're talking about isn't even really a fucking stereotype, because stereotypes can only exist if that's the general feel that most
Consensus.
people have. Most
Yeah.
people don't have that general fucking feel. So I would argue you're wrong just on that. And sadly, it's usually these
Christ.
minority voices that get amplified on Twitter. So be it on the right or be it on
Yeah, well, Twitter is a cesspool of the vocal minority, so it's like that's. And considering what did Elon Musk say? That's like 80% of bots or something. Let's assume 20%. Are you watching another streamer? I'm watching a YouTube video. He's talking about this, and I'm doing a react. That's what us streamers do these days. We watch a video and we react to it, and then you post it, and then someone might react to you. And then it's like you get a loop of reacts. You react to somebody, someone reacts to you, you react to somebody reacting to you, and whatever. Hey, that's how it is. Yeah. Some crazy amount of bots on Twitter. Yeah, a massive amount of bots. I heard as high as 80%. So that means you get like almost no people on Twitter, and they just live in their own little cycle of telling you what you should be thinking emotionally. Yeah, again, could be just a rumor about the 80%. I don't think the actual numbers are out yet, but yeah. You're watching Inception? A good movie. Are you a Leo fan lately?
On the left, we always hear the stupidest voices the loudest, right? Because that's sadly how Twitter works. But the fact is, none of us,
yeah, basically
at
self-fulfilling
least the
prophecies.
sane people, think that this is true. None of us see this as like, if you told me,
yes,
that,
people in the
without
real
this
world
article,
don't.
If you told me this is what Mog was, I wouldn't immediately think, oh my god, lock up the children, the gay people are coming.
Oh my god. Lock up the children, the gays are coming. Bro. Can you imagine? That would be a reaction for somebody who watches that fight. It's like, oh my god. Lock up the children, the gays are coming, bro. All because Mog imprisoned a child god and wanted to marry him. Oh my god, bro.
I just wouldn't.
That's so fun. That's good. That is actually
bother me one bit.
so dumb.
Oh my god.
Oh good.
Oh, this guy writing. I'm pretty fucking sure several men married young boys' girls in the past just for power.
You want to try the game? I'm
This
going
is
to
a
sleep
game
soon, man.
sort of set
It's
in-
gotta.
in-
I gotta be up at 3 a.m. Let's see. Okay, I'll finish this video. I'll make a server. Yeah, I'm gangster like that. I'll make a server and I'll make it like a shit ton more loot and a shit ton more what's it called stuff, and we'll just play. Just like in like 10-15 minutes if you want.
Sort of the olden days, right, where things like this would have
Next week?
anyways
Okay,
been
next week.
far more fucking likely, whether it be gay or straight people, doesn't really matter, right? The most hilarious thing is that none of these people remember Gwendolyn from Dark Souls because unreleased Dark Souls wasn't as massive as it is now, so it wouldn't generate as many rage clicks. What did Gwendolyn do, Rurikon? Mudalyn, I actually know a fuck ton of gay people and trans people. In fact, I would say I know.
He knows a fuck ton of gay and trans people. A fuck ton. An official number.
More gay and trans people that is conservative than what I know that is liberal. Kimmy,
this is also
thank
true.
you so much for the 5 community subs.
They're just not religious.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, hearts in chat. Someone is giving out money. My money. It's not raining money for the rest of you, so don't start jumping up and down. I don't share. But still, send out hearts, motherfuckers. Send out hearts. Gwendolyn's a male character that was raised as a female, if I remember correctly. So a trans character. What did the character do then? The main god of Elden Ring is trans. Nice. And no one gave a fuck, I imagine. All of these conservative people playing the game didn't jump up and down with hatred, right? Look, I'll tell you guys this, right? I'm not conservative, nor am I liberal. I'm sort of right in the center, getting hit from both sides by all crazy people. But I know a bunch of people on the right and a bunch of people on the left. I'm going to let you all in on a little secret. Most conservatives don't actually give a fuck. Like, most conservatives don't have issues with
100%. Most conservatives don't care. They just want to live their life, and they're mostly conservative in their homes, and they don't want to be telling people how to live their life and all that shit. Yes, I agree. Most conservatives are normal people. Most liberals are normal people. It's the extremes that are fucked up.
trans people or gay people. Like, most conservatives don't actually care. The politicians care because they have to
Yes,
keep their names in the news. So they'll come up with all
because they
sorts of
it's their
laws
job.
that makes no sense to anyone but them. But you know, it sort of allows them to be in the news for their 15 minutes of fame. Most people couldn't give two fucks. They just want to live their lives and be done with all the bullshit. So what you're really fighting is politicians saying crap that no one
Yeah.
cares about, except for like a small minority of backwater people that seem to think these.
It's like I would say a lot of people don't care about what politicians say. It's like what is he gonna do for me? What are his policies? What he says can be nice. It's like as long as it's like nothing outrageous, you're kind of okay with it. Right? And then you're trying to appeal to like the extremists for no good reason, because like the extremists are like the vast minority, and it's like these are not usually the votes you should really care about. But the problem is, it's like most points on both political parties are kind of similar to an extent, right? And then you have one or two contentious points, and that's where like the people split. So then because of that split, they're like, "Oh, I need to get like as many people as possible." So they start going for these minorities and they start catering with their speeches and shit like that.
These things are important. Um, I don't know. Everyone just feels like they're losing their minds over politicians making shit up. Uh, it's not their existence that's annoying for a lot of people. It's the lampshading. The main god of Elden Ring, just like itself, a little too much. Interesting. Souls games are always vague and up to interpretation. I just feel like this guy is trying to make up bullshit. It feels like this guy is trying to make shit up. I mean, the preconception exists.
Welcome back.
God, the preconception for what? I love Miyazaki. He just comes out and say hi. The game will be good. Just give me some time. Mountain over molehill. Yeah, but this is where we are nowadays. The pedo equals LGBT. I would say, Gaud, the preconception, like I said, exists for a small minority of people. I'm not saying that there's zero people that don't think that way.
I guess it
As
didn't work.
moronic as it is to think that way, I'm not saying that there's
Nope.
zero
Yeah,
people that
I
think
guess it
that
didn't work.
way.
Okay,
I'm saying that
I'll
it's
look
not
into
the
it.
majority of
I
people
want
that
to see
think
why.
that way. I'll be honest with you. I know a bunch of my entire family is super conservative, right?
Let me
Absolute
see.
church-going conservatives. None of them hold the belief that gay people are pedophiles. Not a single member of my family. The only thing that I've ever seen from my family is them sort of being uncomfortably quiet.
Was this LSPDFR name is Officer Richard Head? What? The fuck does that even mean? LSPDFR name is Officer Richard Head.
Whenever I tease my brother about being gay, which I do often. And when I say tease, I don't mean in a bad way. I mean like sort of poking fun at him, the same way he pokes fun at me
GTA
for
policeman.
being straight.
Pretty sure it was Dick.
Don't know how he gets there, but he does manage to do it. Like
Officer
they'll be a
Dick
bit uncomfortable, be
Head.
like, yeah, don't know what to say about that because you know. I feel like my dad was like, his only
Officer
response
Dickhead.
when
Okay,
my
fair
brother
enough.
told him that he's gay was that he felt sorry for my brother. I think that's actually what he told my brother. I don't mind. I just feel sorry for you because it's gonna be a hard life for you. That's it. Of course, it's not really a hard life for my brother. He's never been bullied for being gay whatsoever. Even though he grew up in like the most conservative Christian school ever, my brother has never been bullied for being gay or anything like that. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of people that want to make problems a problem that isn't actually a problem for the majority of us. My issue.
I mean, I can probably attest that in certain demographics, if you're gay, you're gonna be bullied a lot throughout your life. Yes, it really depends on where you are. If you're Middle Eastern, if you live in the Middle East and you're gay, yeah, good luck. No one better find out, man. You're gonna have a really hard time. and in some places you might not come out of it alive. I'm just saying.
Issue with articles like this
But these are
is
very
I
extreme.
think these
These are not
articles will
like these
turn
are
things
also
that was
minorities.
never a problem into a problem. Because you know what scares me about articles like this? You see people that previously maybe had no problem with trans people or gay people whatsoever.
Yeah.
They read these articles,
Bro.
they get triggered as fuck.
If he's going down that route, I 100% agree. If his point is that whenever you push certain subjects onto people, that subjects they didn't care about, some might receive it positively. But I would say a lot of people that don't want to hear about something and they keep hearing about it will start hating that something. And they will start blaming the people involved with that something. So for example, you're gonna push LGBT plus onto people that at first like they don't care, it's like whatever, do whatever you want, it's fine. You're gonna keep pushing onto them. It's like, okay, listen, I heard you, it's cool, do whatever you want. It's like, bro, I don't want to hear about it. It's like, oh, what, are you being transphobic to want to hear about it? It's like, now I'm starting to hate these people. And again, this is not the LGBT plus community that's doing it, it's idiots like this writer. Then they're pushing it, and they're gonna push it to the point where people will actually become transphobes. Not because they're actually transphobes, because like they're sick of the fucking bullshit that they keep hearing about it.
Because these people are constantly trying to find some issue. And when I say these people, I'm talking about gaming journalists. These gaming journalists are constantly trying to make some kind of issue out of nothing.
I met a trans person once in a strip club where I applied at some point. One of the coolest people I've ever met. Super cool.
Somehow, this person starts blaming the gay community and the trans community.
Also, she had a massive dick.
For a thing that most of the gay community and trans community doesn't even agree with to begin with. And it's just sort of like, you guys are you're making matters so much worse. I think it was Morgan Freeman that once said, how do you fix racism in America? Stop talking about it.
Bro, I bring this up all the time. Every time someone talks about it, and I totally agree. Stop talking about it. The problem will fix itself. Racism was on a very, like, and again, I'm not going to be conspiratorial, but racism was on a very steep down slope as time went on. Were there still racists? Yes. Were white people still using the N-word? Yes. Was it as bad as the 90s in 2000? Was it as bad as the 90s? Fuck no. Was 2010 as bad as 2000s? Fuck no. You know when shit started getting worse? When, for some reason, the media started reporting more and more. They started to make the focus of the election to be racism. And then racism actually probably increased since then. Why? Because people are being shoved with this fucking shit all the time. Normal people go to work, mind their own business, raise their own family, don't talk about race and stuff like that. And trust me, if you have white people, Asian people, black people, Hindu people, whatever, in one classroom, these kids will grow up not to be racists because they experience the other races as they grow older. And they're gonna be in a mixed society to begin with. It's the people who are segregated, who are living in societies that don't have other races. They're the ones who are more likely to be racist. But as we keep going with society, people will keep mixing in different societal areas, in different schools, in the job force and all that stuff, and racism will eventually, I wouldn't say it cease to be, but will be extremely irrelevant. But when you push the issue, when you keep pushing it onto people and trying to force their opinion, you're gonna get backlash because no one wants their opinions forced.
Just fucking stop talking about it. Stop
Yes.
making everything an
Bro,
us versus
so
them
true.
argument.
I love that interview
Stop
with Morgan.
Fault with every single fucking.
The interview with Morgan Freeman, David Morgan. What the fuck is David Morgan? The interview with Morgan Freeman was so good. His first question is why is like whatever, I don't know, March or something, why is it Black History Month? When is when is White History Month? Oh, Oh, it's all year. You don't have one because your whole year is white history. Well, guess what? Black people were there too. They don't need a Black History Month. It's the whole year is Black History Year, right? It's White History Year. It's Black History Year. We all existed throughout every year, right? Every fucking year is the whole year is a history for all the races. They don't need a separate fucking month. You don't need, in my opinion, a gay parade, a trans parade, or whatever, like a pride parade. You don't need it. If it's normal, it's normal. You don't see straight people celebrating that it's normal. Yes, you've been segregated for millennia, whatever. I get it. It sucks. People were stupid. People cared. They don't care so much anymore. You're throwing all this the pride parade that like makes businesses not like shut down. You make streets shut down. That can piss people off. I personally don't care. Whatever. I'm just saying, prospectively, that can piss people off, and that can actually prolong the reduction of these kind of subjects, right? Like if people are transphobes, guess what? Throwing trans people at them is not going to solve the problem. It's like if I am arachnophobe, throwing me in a cage of spiders is not gonna solve my fucking problem. It's gonna give me a fucking heart attack, or I'm gonna kill all the fucking spiders. It's not the solution.
Thing. Just let games be games and be done
Yes,
with it. Oh my god,
games
bro.
should be
It's just
games, bro.
weird.
That's it.
It was Morgan Freeman, you're correct.
It is Morgan
Kaleo,
Freeman.
how you doing, bro? Thanks for the first time chat. Really appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm telling you, he's deflecting. He probably has these feelings himself. Well, yeah, he probably fucking is. You know, like most
I
likely.
mean, if the thought crossed his mind, he has these thoughts. Let's be real. If you managed to write this big of an article about this, that thought really crossed your mind.
I would not be surprised. Okay, genuine question. Is there anyone in chat that actually has a problem with Mog in Elden Ring being gay? Or
Gives a fuck.
I don't even think gods can be gay. I think gods
they don't have a
just do whatever the
sex.
fuck they want anyways.
Yeah.
Like I don't think.
Don't worry about it. Next week. Everyone will have a rainbow in their Twitter profile pic. Homophobia and transphobia, assault.
Gods
Yeah.
would be gay.
Rurikan, you got it.
They're just, especially this Mog guy, just sounds fucking nuts to me. He just sounds like he really wanted the power, and this child god was closest. But is there anyone that actually feels like this is just disgusting and shouldn't happen? He's just applied it. The Norse Pantheon is wild. Oh yeah, the Norse Pantheon is wild. I'm your Hills. How you doing? It was presented in the most based manner, totally opposite of how Netflix would present it. Wants to establish a dynasty. If you look at Roman and Greek society back then, Mog just want a political marriage for power, like old times. Yeah, this guy doesn't seem like he's actively like being pedo. He's just like, yeah, this is gonna make me very powerful, so fuck everyone. Plus, he looks like an awesome boss. Like, just the look of him is really cool. Dude, I should still play Elden Ring at some point. I should still play Elden Ring.
Oh, there's Diablo book coming soon. Nice. I don't mind Diablo book, honestly. I mean, the story's kind of been done. Might as well throw a book. Like, see if people are interested and then sell, make a game around it. But, like, the Diablo universe is massive. I don't mind there's books about it. The history of Diablo, in my opinion, there's a lot of history which you can't really put it in the game unless you make, like, a different type of game completely. Social contract. Oh, this is the preach video, I'm assuming. Anyways, yeah, man, I almost went to like full meltdown there with the topic. Gotta love these topics, man. Fucking Jesus Christ. Some people. Alright. Next video, I guess. Fuck.